Hey everybody, off the Mike Sports Network here. We are previewing WrestleMania 41. Let's preview first of all WrestleMania Saturday. All these matches are set in stone. The card is obviously subject to change. Randy Orton's match is still up in the air. I would imagine that will happen on Sunday. So we'll get to that at some point. But let's focus this video on WrestleMania Saturday. I would presume, and there's been some speculation, it hasn't been confirmed officially by WWE, but it sounds like Gunther Jey Uso for the World Heavyweight title is going to open WrestleMania. And if it wasn't going to main event, this is the perfect spot for it. The crowd's going to be hot. Jay's going to come out with his heat entrance through the Allegiant Stadium crowd. Gunther's going to be a massive heel. And we're going to get a big moment right off the top because I think Jey Uso is winning the World Heavyweight title. All these Jey Uso haters, all these naysayers, guys, you're going to be upset because this feud has been about one thing and one thing only. This has been about getting Jey Uso that World Heavyweight title. He's not losing to Gunther 4 times in a row. It would be a really flat idea to, go with any other finish other than Jey Uso winning the World Heavyweight title. That being said, I think Gunther has done a pretty damn good job. And this feud that started off really bland and ordinary in February when Jey won the Royal Rumble has really kind of, found its mojo the last few weeks. So I give him credit for that. But Jay's winning the title here. So that'll be very interesting. A very interesting match between the War Raiders and the War Raiders are taking on the New Day for the tag team titles. So a number of different things could go down in this match. And a lot of people are wondering why this is on WrestleMania and why the Street Profits and, Motor City Machine Guns is going to happen the night before on SmackDown. So here's the way I look at this. The War Raiders have had a nice little run with the championships, but we haven't really seen heel New Day reach the pinnacle as tag team champions and get it. And here's the crazy thing. The New Day has not been tag team champions on the main roster since WrestleMania 37. Do you guys know that? That's insane to think about. They won an NXT tag team title a couple years ago, but universally the NXT tag team titles really isn't recognized on the main, but we're talking main roster. So I think the New Day is going to win the tag team titles here. There is the possibility that Big E shows up, reveals that he's fully cleared, and then, and then for one reason or another, like he costs the New Day. Maybe he joins up with the New Day. I don't know. There's a lot of intrigue with this match, more so than people realize. So I think this is an interesting match, but I'll take the New Day to win the World Tag Team titles at WrestleMania. Rey Mysterio taking on El Grande Americano. Psst, it's Chad Gable. Okay, so admittedly, this is really cool. Rey Mysterio, I think they said it's his 13th WrestleMania. I remember his first WrestleMania match at WrestleMania 19 for the tag team, not for the tag team titles, for the Cruiserweight Championship against Matt Hardy. Yeah, it's been that long. And here we are at WrestleMania 41, and Rey Mysterio is in a main roster match against El Grande Americano. Rey Mysterio's track record at WrestleMania of late has been really good. He beat his son at 39. He beat his son and Santos at WrestleMania 40. I think El Grande Americano is going to win the match, but I think he will be unmasked and revealed as Chad Gable. And, this, sneaky good mid-card, comedy level storyline that's kind of, been pretty solid. I know a lot of people are mad that Chad Gable, his real name, is not on the show. Guys, he was a tag team champion a few years ago at WrestleMania, defending him. He's going to be okay. I think the fact that he's actually made this work and gotten this to a WrestleMania match is actually pretty damn cool. So I'll take El Grande Americano in this match to win over Rey Mysterio. But then I think, what we've known for a while is going to be revealed at WrestleMania, that El Grande Americano is in fact Chad Gable. So a great, and I've talked about this, great feud that is set up into WrestleMania. At least on record, I think this is the first non-title women's singles match in WrestleMania history. Not for a championship of any kind. That's insane. I might have to go check that again, but it does line up with the thing. But it's Jade Cargill against Naomi. This has been a fantastically built and fantastically executed story. It took a while to get to the point, but since Jade came back at Elimination Chamber and beat the crap out of Naomi, this has been one of the best built stories, at least on the mid card, outside of the main obvious matches. This has been one of the best mid card feuds that has been built in on this entire both nights of this show. I will take Jade Cargill to win this match. That being said, I don't think this is any reflection on Naomi whatsoever if she loses or not. Because I think this feud is going to go on for a minute. I think this is the first match of a few. Also, Jade has already taken a pinfall loss because of Naomi. I just have a feeling that to start off this feud, I think that it's a strong possibility that Jade Cargill ultimately wins this match, and sets up maybe another match at Backlash. Maybe we get something further down the line. Maybe they do a stipulation at some point. But I would say that, like, even if Naomi loses, I don't think that hurts her credibility at all. She has done a phenomenal job in this character. Hell, she may get heat back in this to set up another match. There's ways to go about this, and I think that this will be one of the better feuds of 2025. LA Knight and Jacob Fatu for the U.S. Championship. This is a weirdly built, weirdly executed match. So we have LA Knight finally win back the United States Championship from we have LA Knight finally win back the United States Championship from Shinsuke Nakamura in an uneventful reign. And now he's facing the Samoan Werewolf, who's incredibly over. LA Knight's incredibly over. I don't see a scenario where Jacob Fatu loses. I love LA Knight to death. Frankly, at this point, he doesn't really need the United States Championship. The guy's over. It was nice for him to get it back. I don't understand why we needed to take it away from him. But this feels like, pretty much like Jacob Fatu is going to win his first major singles title on the main roster. And it's going to be kind of a crowning moment for him. And it'll be interesting to see what this feeds into with him and Solo, who are inevitably on a collision course to potentially feud with each other at some point soon. So then we get to what has become kind of a shit show, kind of a mess, but it's kind of worked on television, and it's kind of been a beautiful reality show. And that's Tiffany Stratton and Charlotte Flair. They blurred the lines between real and professional wrestling and sports entertainment and all this stuff together, and it's been a really pleasant surprise. That being said, I'm really scared that they're going to give the title to Charlotte Flair, and I think that would send a horrible message to the roster that, hey, you can get away with being unprofessional. And also, I just don't think it's a good idea at this point in time, because I don't think I look, they've had a lot of personal stuff. I just don't think that there's much staying power beyond WrestleMania for these two. I think Tiffany Stratton will win. I'm bound to be surprised. I won't be shocked if Charlotte wins, but I'd be very disappointed. So I'll pick Tiffany Stratton here to ultimately win the match. And we'll see where this whole thing goes beyond WrestleMania. I just don't see a scenario where that ultimately, Charlotte Flair really benefits from, winning this at all. It just doesn't really accomplish much, in my opinion. And then the main event of WrestleMania Saturday, Roman Reigns versus CM Punk versus Seth Rollins. Paul Heyman, the wise man, is in CM Punk's corner. We've seen training videos from Roman Reigns. If you paid attention to the channel, a lot of stuff outside of the ring involving Roman Reigns, which I thought was really dumb. Seth Rollins has been chirping a little bit. Like he's been saying, yeah, I want them to get Rock Roman over because I think it'll be boring. So it's funny. Up until about a week, like Seth Rollins had me convinced that maybe he was going to win this match. But based off the fact that he stood tall on the go home edition of Monday Night Raw with the Shield chair shot, I don't think Seth Rollins weekend. I don't know if Seth Rollins weekend will be done at this point, but I think CM Punk is going to win this match. His first main event match at WrestleMania. This is going to be, I think, the story within this. I think these three guys are going to work incredibly well together. We've already seen it twice with Punk and Rollins, bringing Roman Reigns in, who is as good of a big match wrestler as there is in professional wrestling. So I'm going to take CM Punk to win this. It's a big deal. This is a huge moment for him to get a WrestleMania main event non-title match against two of the biggest guys in this company. So I'll take CM Punk to win this. That's WrestleMania Saturday. I will have more on WrestleMania Sunday coming up very shortly. Stay tuned here on the channel. I will get that to you guys soon. Thanks so much for watching. Bye bye.